nations in the world. He was also a Nobel Peace Prize winner and a great outdoorsman. He is a man of many talents who spoke about the world and problems we face as a whole. He talked about politics and how they can be fixed and ways people could help change it. He made an impact on the world. His speeches may not be the most interesting anymore, but they have helped shape the way people have given speeches after him. He used real words in communications with the average person. First, we will be talking about why we picked Theodore Roosevelt. Second, we will be discussing some of his quotes. And finally, we will talk about his speaking style and how it has made an impact on other speakers.
Why did we pick Teddy Roosevelt? Well, to be honest with you, it was because of his nickname, Teddy. How many powerful people do you know have a very cool / cute nickname? But there's a story to how he got his name. It wasn't just some random name bestowed upon him by random people. According to American Stories, Library of Congress, he got his nickname because on one of his many outdoorsman trips, with his aides and reporters following him, he failed to shoot any game. His aides cornered a bear and gave it to Teddy Roosevelt as a trophy for him to shoot. Mr. Roosevelt took pity on the bear and couldn't shoot it. A toy maker in the Bronx, I believe it was, saw the picture of Teddy Roosevelt with a teddy bear, and he was looking for an idea for a new toy. Well, this is how he got the teddy bear. It wasn't inspired by just some random thing. It was inspired by an event given by one of our nation's presidents, that he couldn't shoot an animal. Not only did he not shoot an animal, he was also a great conservationist. He was one of the first in America to be a conservationist. So, who would have thought a president would have helped create one of the most timeless toys in America's history and in the rest of the world? Theodore Roosevelt also has many timeless quotes that have been used throughout speeches and texts, which are still popular in today's society. One of those quotes was, "A man who is good enough to shed blood for his country is good enough to be given a square deal." This quote has been used in countless blogs by many upset veterans and in an article, Duke's Gender Law and Policy. You may be wondering why we bring up this quote. That it has nothing to do with this speech, but we have been talking about how important this man was and his speaking style. A style that can be easily missed and looked over, but vastly important because of how he talked to everyday people coming home from wars. Veterans in their blogs bring up how Teddy Roosevelt realized their importance to us as Americans, and how we're still not taking that into consideration. Duke's Gender Law and Policy was also bringing up the whole don't ask, don't tell. How it doesn't matter what sexual preference you have, you shed blood for this nation, and we should be more grateful. This quote has more power to it than I'm sure Mr. Teddy Roosevelt thought it would. He also said, "Do what you can with what you have and where you are." Teddy Roosevelt, this quote not only applies to everyone in this room, not only with big things like school and opportunities and goals that we've been given, but also the ones we set for ourselves. We can't do something if we don't have the tools to achieve our goals due to the capability due to the location. Pretty much, none of us can make water out of wine. And he pointed out, keep things realistic. Don't try to reach for the stars if you know you can't reach them. Set goals, so eventually you can get there. The article published by Greg Bobacci, CEO of Charlotte Community Foundation, on November 26th, in an article titled "Giving," said, "Perhaps President Theodore Roosevelt said it best. Do what you can with what you have and where you are." This article was talking about charities, how there's only so much you can give in amount with the income you get, and how the wealthy need to step up their game and give more back to their communities. So almost everything is based on this quote. Do what you can with what you have, so keep it in mind for future reference.
One of Teddy Roosevelt's best-known quotes that he used in one of his speeches was, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." He did not make this quote up. Actually, it originally came from an old African quote he picked up while in Africa, according to a small Chinese communication in 2000. But what does this mean, and why is it so important? It means, well, that Roosevelt said that you don't know that in order to get what you want and you make a lot of noise and you don't get it, then maybe if speaking softly and trying a nice way to politely get something back, then that means you probably need to step in and ask for it and take back what you want. As you can see, there's a great example of what we did in our current war now. Not only did it happen before, and it still continues to happen. Teddy Roosevelt was willing to use the help from the Navy to help the United States of America expand its horizons. This quote is still kind of our philosophy with our military today. Another example, what that is an everyday, let's see, your mom, your dad. They nicely, politely ask you to, behave, but if it doesn't work, well, maybe a spanking will come, or away goes the TV for days, or you're grounded, you're not going anywhere. It even applies to our everyday life, actually, in a different manner, but as well as how we use it in our politics and how Teddy Roosevelt used it in his speech. One of his other great quotes in the speech was, "Big jobs usually go to the men who prove their ability to outgrow small ones."